Greetings, loved ones, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another personal Q&A slash piggy spa day. I have never filmed one of these this late in the year. It is the end of October, and it's currently like 65 degrees in Virginia, and it was raining earlier and so overcast, and now the sun has come out, and I'm in my little bathing suit outfit, and I'm really excited to film this video because I've been putting this off for the entire time that we've been here in Virginia. Like, I've wanted to film this since we moved here at the beginning of September. I've just been not finding the time, and then today I was like, if I don't film this video today, I don't think I ever will. So with that being said, I asked for you guys to send me questions on Instagram, and you did the deed. I figured we'll answer 25 questions today because I'm 25 years old and it'll be funky and fun. So that's how many I chose. And you guys asked a lot about all the things that you're always dying to know about, which is mostly moving, marriage, life post-wedding, kids, confidence, body things, all of the above you asked about today. And I saved all of them. And I actually have a little handy tote bag here that's hanging on a post behind you, so I can keep all of the things away from the pigs, because whenever I film these, they steal something and eat it. Last year, it was a bar of soap. Thank God it was a natural bar of soap. I Googled for so long if that was going to kill them. Peach is the one who did it. She just eats everything in sight. And today they've tried to eat their oil that I moisturize their coat with. It's just calendula oil in a big glass jar, and they've already tried to take a bite out of the glass. I'm like, it's glass. You're not gonna break through the barrier. You know what I mean? Crazies. So anyways, let's just get to hosing these pigs down. And while I do that, I'm gonna answer the first question, which is, do you feel the pressure to work when you're sick because you're self-employed? And this person's asking this because I was just sick for like a week and a half, and that's why there's been minimal uploads. I did upload to Patreon a secret vlog, but on the last day that I was filming that vlog, I got really sick in Georgia. And to answer this question, I would say yes, I do feel pressured to work even when I'm sick. But it's not because like my management is putting the pressure on me or you guys are putting the pressure on me. It's only me. So I just have to have like a nice chat with myself whenever I feel like that and be like, girl, just rest. You know, like, you do not need to be doing the most right now. Like, just let your body recover. And I got the memo, and it's good. And I rested, and I'm back. After you've been sick for like a week, you're like, okay, I'm over it. I just want to get back to life. And that's how I felt after like a week of laying around watching Gilmore Girls, which was incredible. But you know, we got to move on at some point. All right, normally I either use like a natural bar of soap that somebody sent to my P.O. box or something like that for these videos, but my P.O. box is currently closed, and a lot of my bathroom stuff is in storage, and I found this in a kitchen cabinet. It's just Dr. Bronner's soap, and I researched it. It's safe to use on pigs. I also found this brush because their dry brush that I normally use on them, it's also in storage. I have no idea where it is. So I messaged my mother-in-law, and she rides horses and has a horse and a donkey. I said, are there any like brushes lying around? She said, yeah, there are. And so I went and I grabbed one, and this is honestly incredible. It's way better than my old brush. So I'm gonna be using this on the pigs today. While I answer the next question, which is, what is something that you struggle with that you are open to sharing? If I had to pick one thing that I'm struggling the most with right now, it's my body. And just like my relationship to my body and the way that I speak to my body, and just the things that I say in my head to myself that are just like really diminishing my self-worth. And I always say this, but like, body confidence is not something that you just like attain one day. Like, it's an ongoing journey, and I'm definitely feeling the downslope of that right now. And I know exactly why it is. It's because I lost a bunch of weight in quarantine, and then over the past 2 years, I've just gained it all back. I'm getting older and my body is changing and holding weight in different areas, and I'm fluffier in certain places that I didn't used to be, and that's okay and that's fine. But also at the same time, I constantly like compare myself to past versions of myself, which is obviously something that I'm trying to rework. But back in quarantine, I was giving a lot more time to doing like at-home workouts because I couldn't go anywhere to work out. And then after quarantine, I found out that I love Zumba because I was playing so much Just Dance while I was stuck at home for so long. And so then I started taking Zumba classes, and I'm like, this is incredible and iconic, and I want to do more of this. So I do, and I do Zumba 3 times a week, and I love it, and it makes me joyous, and I like moving my body in joyous ways and getting exercise while also feeling happy. But also, I'm not doing as much like targeted toning workouts, and so that's why my body has changed. I don't know why I just felt the need to explain that to you. Like, literally nobody asked, but clearly you can see that I'm struggling with this right now because my body looks different. And before even filming this video, I was like feeling insecure about being in a bathing suit and stuff like that online. And I'm just sick of doing that and being down on myself in those ways. So this is a long answer to this question, but that's what I'm struggling with. And I'm trying to just really focus on the mantra right now for myself that my body is a good place to be, and I don't have to judge my body every time I see myself in the mirror or see a photo of myself. I just have to exist because I can dance in this body and be loved in this body and love other people and all of these things and feel joy in this body, and I don't have to look at it all the time just being like, that's wrong and this is too much and that's too much and you need to lose weight. Like, it's just, it's an ongoing process. God damn it. You know, I'm gonna put this directly on her coat. All right, enough of this question. I'm getting two in my head. What do you like about living in Virginia versus Oregon? What do you miss about Oregon? I miss a lot of things about Oregon, but mostly my friends, and I miss the moss and my neighbors and the creek behind our house. But I like living in Virginia because we're closer to family, and we do still have some friends who live around here as well. And I mean, look around, like, look at this land and this pasture. This is insane. And the pigs are so happy here. The dogs are so happy here. And it's just been so beautiful to return to the East Coast for autumn and see like deciduous trees again, because there's so many evergreens in Oregon, which is beautiful, you know, in its own way. But being back here, man, oh my God. I mean, just like, look at the trees. Are you freaking kidding me? Any moment I'm not just like taking in all of this beauty on the porch, I'm like, what am I doing with my life? This isn't gonna be this beautiful forever. All these gorgeous trees are gonna die in a few months. It's gonna be terrible. But I love it right now while they're in the dying process. The next question I got a lot is, how is the house hunt going? It's going swimmingly. We have found some houses recently where we've been like, damn, I would really like to go see that. But also at the same time, I would like it to be about $100,000 cheaper. So Finley and I both decided, which I've talked about in videos, that we're just gonna be here in Virginia chilling for, you know, the next few months. We'll be here through the holidays and stuff like that. We're still looking all the time on Zillow and seeing all of our options and whatnot. But I mean, realistically, we're not gonna move until 2023 at some point. And that's like only if we find a good price, because why buy at the top of the market if, you know, we're in a comfortable place here in Virginia where we can wait and save money and live rent-free and enjoy, you know, this beautiful farm that my in-laws have. And we have like our own space here. I mean, there's just so many reasons to love where we are right now. And we're really just in no rush to leave, like ASAP. Thank you for picking up your leg for me, Ducky. Good girl. Everybody that we talk to about housing prices is like, your patience will be rewarded in the future, because you know, you're just waiting for prices to drop even more. And they are. Like, since we toured houses, and I showed you guys in a vlog in like June, those homes that we were seeing were like $200,000 more than some of the ones that we're seeing right now, which is incredible. So we're just waiting. And in the meantime, we're enjoying just living our best lives. Right, Peachy Weechy? Oh, wow. Oh, it's okay. What? You're a good girl, Peach. You're really allowing me to get all up in there. What about you? Can I get your face, Ducky? Nope. She does not want that. That's okay. Next question. Curious about you and Finley's must-haves while you're house hunting. The house has to have land, at least 2 to 5 acres, but ideally we would like 10 to 20. We also are obsessed with like wood accents, wood beams, wood walls, and paneling. Although I know some of you are like, I hate wood paneled walls. It's just like such a look for us. In our last house had wood paneled walls, and I loved it. There's a plane flying overhead if you can hear that, but I would really love to have some kind of a water feature running through our property, whether it's a pond or a creek or river close by or something like that. I also want to be set back from the road so that our dogs can run around freely and we don't have to like worry about them, you know, running into the road or getting into neighbors' yards and stuff like that. What else? I would ideally like 3 bedrooms, because then we can have our bedroom, an office, and a future nursery. And then pretty much other than that, like we can upgrade kitchens and add bathrooms if we need to, granted if the septic can hold it. And yeah, we can even like build a barn if need be. So I don't really feel like that's a necessity, but it would be nice to have a place for the piggies. But yeah, I think that's most of our requirements, at least. Peach is moving the camera. If you want this oil so bad, come over here and get it. Stop moving my tripod. It's rude. I'm gonna massage them now with oil, so this could get a little bit messy. Oh, I wanted to say too, I don't know where their little hair bows are that I normally put in these videos, so we're just doing like a big cleanse and a massage rather than putting hair bows in. Oh my God. Okay, I got it. The next question is, do you see yourself ever moving back to the West Coast? No, I literally just left. But also it's just not safe for us. The summers are way too scary for me to return to the West Coast long term. And that's where I'm thinking right now in my head. Like I'm thinking long term, where will I raise my family? That's why we settle on wanting to move to Vermont. So no, I'll visit the West Coast, but I'm not gonna move back there. This is a cute question. Somebody asked, how will you describe your time in Oregon to your future children? I'll describe Oregon as a really beautiful place where we learned what we want the most out of life from living there, honestly, because that's how I feel. Like, I feel as though when we moved there, we discovered so much about ourselves and that we just want a little plot of land and to have a garden and tend to it and just raise our family and our animals amongst the trees and nature, sinking our hands in the soil. So that's how I'll describe it to them. The next question is like the most asked question in this Q&A, which is, I'm ready for mommy Meghan. When do you think she will make her debut? Or when are you having kids? Or do you want to have kids right now? And all of that stuff. And yeah, we want to have kids. I've always talked about having children and, you know, sharing that with you guys when we're ready and everything like that. And I know that this person's only asking out of excitement, but like, we literally haven't even been married 6 months, you know? And we're currently living in like a temporary kind of a place where, you know, we could have children here and figure out, you know, what our moving to Vermont will look like, even with a child. Like, that could be a possibility. Ducky, leave it. I just want to massage you. Ducky, I can scratch you. You don't need to do this. What I'm trying to say is, when we get pregnant and are ready to share that with you, we will share that with you. Right now, we're just enjoying the first few months of our marriage and where we are right now, and we're both ready to have children and ready to take that next step. But I don't know, like, we could get pregnant before we move to Vermont or after. It really just depends on what we're feeling. I'm just focusing on the present and the now. Mommy Meghan will be presenting herself eventually, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I'm in no rush. Good girl, Peach. Good girl. The next question, I can't read it exactly because I'm far away from my phone right now and I don't want this massage moment to end with Peach. But it was something along the lines of like, do you feel pressure to have children right now? And I would say the only pressure that I feel to have kids, I don't want this to sound fucked up, but like, it's only from you guys. Like, literally nobody else in my life even asks me about kids or anything like that. Like, not my parents, not my in-laws, not my friends. Like, nobody's like, so when are you gonna pop a baby out one of these days? But like, people will comment on my videos and be like, is that a little baby bump I see? It's like, no, I just gained weight. Like, no. So I would say that that's the only like pressure that I feel, but I don't really let it get to me more so. I just want to like make you aware of it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I forgot to bring a towel out here. What is wrong with me? Oh God, the pigs left. Maybe I can trick her. This is their feeding shovel. Remember, I put the food over here. Oh, look at that. That's so nice. I put the food right here. And right here. The food's here. I need to massage Ducky's coat. She's not really having it today. She's a little touched out. That's all right. Next question is also about kids. Somebody asked, when you do have kids, how do you plan to include them in your online presence, if at all? This is something that I've always said for the past few years, that like, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, kind of a thing. Because I don't really know how I'll feel once I have said child, but I can talk about it now and be like, yeah, I mean, I show my life, like, I'll show my baby, but it's also like a big thing. And it's also not just my baby, it's me and Finley's baby, and we need to have conversations about how he feels about that and what we would show and wouldn't show and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, man. It's just such a big topic where I don't want to just like blanket answer it and be like, yeah, I'll show every aspect of my kid's life. It's like, no, I'll definitely, like I do with my own life now, keep certain things to myself and keep things private. Although I do share a lot, I feel like it'll be similar when I have a child. And yeah, I mean, I hate answering questions just being like, we'll see, but like, we'll see. Okay, this is a good question too. Somebody asked, how do you deal with baby fever? Because they have it really bad right now. And I would say, you know, play with your friends' babies. Just like visit with them and be able to hold them or watch them or babysit them, or your family's babies and stuff like that. Because I feel like I had baby fever really bad in like 2019, like the year before I even got engaged. Not that like you need to be engaged to have a baby. I'm not saying that. It all seems now, looking back on it, it was kind of early for me to be fiending that much because we just like didn't really know where exactly we wanted to like be or raise kids, and I think that's really important for you to know. So also think about that, like if I were to have a baby right now, then what would my life look like, or what would I want it to look like? Would I be comfortable raising the child where I am currently, or like would I want something else? Because I wouldn't have been comfortable raising kids in Oregon just because of like climate change and the scary summers and evacuations and wildfires and stuff. It's like I wouldn't have wanted that. But in 2019, I thought that I wanted a house in Oregon and to buy there. So that's what I'm saying, of like so much has changed since then. So if you have baby fever, just like get it out in other ways. Like just interact with other people's babies. And you know, I'm assuming that you're asking this because you don't actually want a baby right now. You just need to learn how to cope with not having a child but wanting a child at some point in the future. Your time will come. Oh, this is a great question, so I wanted to answer this one. This person asked, do you still get hate comments? If so, how do you deal with them / let it not affect you? Where is she going? Like, where do you have to be, Ducky? I just want to massage you. I definitely still get hate comments, but I've gotten real familiar with just blocking. I'm like, I don't need to put my energy into replying back to this person because I used to. This is something that I learned this year. People will hate me just because they want to hate watch me, and like that's gonna exist no matter how nice I am or how much I try to talk to them and reason with them or try to make them see my point of view. It's like, what, why? You know, like they're not planning on changing their mind about me, and I don't need to make some huge case of why they should like me. Like not everybody needs to like me. If I choose to interact with that, if I choose to, you know, like stoop to their level, I am not only taking away time from my life that I could be using to positive things, but also I'm choosing to like inject hate into myself and change the course of my day. And that's how I feel if like I'm just having a joyous time and then I read something mean about myself. It's like, why would I be like, oh, I'm gonna leave this joyous time and actually go and hate on myself with you? Yeah, because that sounds like fun. No, it's just like drinking liquid poison is reading hate comments and like mean shit online. Like I'm over that phase of life. I don't interact with it anymore. I don't read it. I block people. I just don't want to do it anymore. You know, it's like, what is the point? Next question is kind of on the same topic, but how do you overcome criticism? I always feel embarrassed and low. So I wanted to answer this too, because criticism and hate are two different things. Like people can give me constructive criticism on videos or be like, maybe if you uploaded this video again, I would like to see it, but done in this certain way or something like that. Like that's fine. But if somebody's just like, you smell bad and I fucking hate you and your entire family, like that's hate, you know? So we can differentiate the two. But this thing that I've been dealing with recently is getting constructive criticism from my partner. Can you guys relate to this? I'll get like so defensive immediately, and I do it about the dumbest shit too. Like I'll make a pasta or something like that, and maybe it was like a little spicy of a recipe, like I added too much red pepper flakes or something. And he's like, whew, this pasta is spicy. And immediately I'm like, oh my God, I know it's too spicy. Oh my God, do you hate it? Like, oh my God, you probably hate it. And he's just like, no, I was just saying next time when you make this recipe, maybe like a little less spice. But like, I take it so personally, and I'm really trying to work on that right now because like you said in this, like it makes you feel embarrassed and low and like you reacted too much, you know? And you don't want to feel like that. And also the people that you're interacting with, if they're giving you constructive criticism, they don't want you to feel like that. They're just like, damn, I was just pointing something out, you know? And I give constructive criticism to my partner all the time, and he doesn't react like that. He's just like, yep, you have a point, totally, I'll work on it. And that is the difference of like taking something in and being like, all right, I can run with this, I can work with this, and I agree that I need to work on this, rather than being like, nope, couldn't be me. Also, why did you say that about me? And like taking it so personal, like we can't do that because then how will you ever improve? The next question comes from Abigail and she says, I just got engaged. Congratulations, Abigator, by the way. She asked, what kept me calm while planning a wedding where I didn't live? My number one answer to this is just my wedding planner. She's familiar with the industry here in Northern Virginia and she gave me vendors to use and people to call upon and kept me calm throughout the whole planning process. So if you can find a planner in the area that you are getting married, hi Ducky, then I would highly suggest doing that because it really kept me calm. Finally, she's come to me for a massage. Twerk it out, girl. Come on. Twerk it out. All right, she's on the move again. I got a lot of questions still to get through and I'm done chasing the pigs. I'm gonna wait for them to come to me if they so please. This next person asked, what was my favorite part of my wedding day? And you know, whenever people ask me this, I'm like, well, obviously marrying the love of my life was my favorite moment, but also at the same time, I need to pick something other than that. Oh, there's a helicopter. I'm still gonna answer the question, just tune it out. My favorite part was when Finley and I did sunset portraits and it was like right after dinner, but before speeches. And we had this moment where we went down to the pond. It was just us and our photographers and my wedding planner, and we were just able to like talk to each other about our favorite moments of the wedding so far and just like share in our joy and have what felt like a private moment, even though there was other people around, you know, capturing photos and stuff. But just like the little stroll down, I'll put a photo of it on the screen because like it was such a cute moment. We were apart for a lot of the day, like leading up to our wedding because we got ready in separate places. So we were just talking about, you know, our favorite moments so far and people that we've talked to that the other one didn't get to see or something like that. And yeah, just really basking in the wedding glow. So that was my favorite part. Prioritize having moments to yourselves on your wedding day, okay? Next question is favorite part of being newly married. Probably just like the comfortability. I was kind of talking about this in like a recent sex Q&A that I did, but apart from like that level of intimacy, like romantic intimacy, just emotional intimacy, I feel like is so much more comfortable. And it's not like we didn't have that before, but I feel like after we got married, it's just such like a new level of peace. Also because like we were getting married and then deciding to move and all these things. So now it's like, we can breathe and just like enjoy each other's company and like get into new rhythms of life as a married couple. And also I love the part that whenever we see certain people, they still congratulate us on our marriage because it's been like 5 months or something. So it still feels new. I don't know. So that's always fun. I'm always like, thank you, it was amazing. I'm gonna move the camera to where the hogs are now. Speaking of the wedding, again, somebody asked, have you experienced any post-wedding depression? I have heard it's become a big thing. I've literally never heard about this in my life, and no, I haven't experienced this. If anything, I feel like I've experienced post-wedding relief because it's just like a day I was planning for over a year and then it finally came and I was like, wow, this is great. And I guess, you know, some people may be like, that was such a blissful day and now it's just like back to the mundane reality of my life. But I don't feel that way. I feel like still as blissful and happy as I was on my wedding day. Well, that was kind of an extreme level of happiness, but you know what I mean. I just feel like I'm happy that we finally had that moment and it was as magical as it was, and I'm not depressed that it's over. I'm just happy it happened, I guess. Why is everybody so hungry all of a sudden? You already had 2 breakfasts. Okay, I feel like I'm kind of far away, but I'm still gonna answer questions. This person asked, how's my mental health? I would say other than like the struggles with body confidence right now, I'm doing well. I have 2 happy hogs who are twerking on me and using me as a scratching post, so that's pretty great. And I just feel really content and at peace with life right now, and like there's not much I want to change. And before we moved here, I wanted to change a lot of things. You know, I wanted to change our house and I wanted to change the way I was handling my work and just my life and my workout routine and all of these things. And now I feel like I've fallen into the rhythm of all that stuff. And it's made my mental health a lot better rather than just like waiting in kind of a limbo, you know? Because I felt like a lot of our last few months in Oregon were waiting in a limbo, like just to get married. And then we were like, okay, and then we'll move to the East Coast. That's been a really great decision that has made us happier and more joyful as people, and I think you guys can see that, and you can see how happy the pigs are and the dogs are and how happy we are as well. So it's just been a win-win overall, and I'm still in therapy, don't get me wrong, there's things to work on every day, but also at the same time. They love using this as a scratching post. It's really a lot. But also at the same time, I'm just like basking in gratitude and feeling good about life currently. This next question is an important one that I know a lot of people feel. How can I help my partner deal with his depression on top of already dealing with my own? I just want to say, first, deal with your own. And obviously, like, you can talk about this in therapy and with trusted friends or family and stuff like that, and value the advice that you get and the things that you learn and be an example for your partner. Like, you don't need to take on fixing them, you know? And I don't want anybody to look at depression as something that needs to be fixed. It's just something you need to sit with and be able to talk about and learn if you need to be on medication or you don't need to be on medication, or if there's situational things that you need to change, routine things, disciplinary things. But I'm not gonna get on my high horse about like what you need and what your body needs and all that stuff. Everybody is different for what they need and require, and your partner has their own set of needs as well, and they need to find that out on their own. But I feel like just leading as an example for them is the best way that you can help and support them. And if you need more information on this, I have an entire video called Loving Somebody with Depression that you should go and watch. Oh my God, I'm covered in mud and I just now realized. This person asked, tips for staying consistent with exercise and moving your body. Difficult for me while I work from home. I kind of touched on this earlier, but find something that you actually enjoy doing and then just add that to your routine. Like, I go to Zumba 3 times a week and I schedule it on my phone. Like, I register for the class and I show up to the class. I'm like, all right, I'm doing that at this time, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I'm there. And you just need to prioritize that. If this is something that you genuinely really want to put more time into, just find the workouts that work for you. I mean, I did workouts from home for like a year and a half before I found like rock climbing and Zumba and stuff like that and started to kind of return to group fitness activities. You can work out from home while you work from home, you know? I love Mad Fit. I loved Stoned and Toned. That was a really fun website that I used for a while. I love the Sweat app. Those were all like my top 3 faves, but also I've heard really great things about Melissa Wood Health and her programs and Blogilates and, you know, yoga. You can just find whatever works for you. You can do little weight training. I've tried to incorporate just using 5-pound weights randomly when I'm standing on the porch letting my dogs out and I'm doing the butterflies and the pumping it up and the twisty poos, you know, shit like that, where you can just incorporate that randomly into your day. I love how I just like hosed the hogs down for what, like 3 questions, and I've just been like sitting in the pasture for the remainder of this video, but it's kind of a vibe. Like, I'm really enjoying it, actually. I hope you are too. Anyways, this question I just really wanted to answer because it makes me excited to think about. And this person asked, will you go skiing or snowboarding when you move to Vermont? Honestly, I hope so, but I've only ever been skiing once in my entire life, and it was when my in-laws took me to Mount Hood in like March of 2021. So that was the last time I ever did it, and I really liked it, and it was just a beginner's weekend for me. So I did like the bunny slopes and the greens, and I went down like 1 blue, and I hope to do more of it. But also, it's like when I move there, I'm gonna need to practice a lot more before I get like an epic pass or something like that. But Finley grew up snowboarding and skiing and really likes it, so I feel like we'll probably end up doing more, but I just have to get better at it first before I like put a bunch of money into it, you know? This next question is, do you think you'll consume cannabis again one day? And for those of you who don't know, I stopped smoking weed in March of this year. It was like right before I got my wisdom teeth out, and then I just never started again. And I'm just kind of liking living life weed-free currently. I tapered down at first with just taking tinctures and then just CBD and then stopping altogether. I know this looks weird. I'm not like touching her parts. I'm touching her inner leg and belly. But yeah, I assume that I'll consume cannabis again one day. I've always really enjoyed cannabis. I just felt like it was time for me to take a big break. And it's been over 6 months now, and I'm just kind of like content with where I am with it. I just don't feel really called to do that right now. And I still refuse weed when I get offered it. I'm just like, oh no, thank you, I'm all good. I'm not like, oh my God, the devil's lettuce. But I talked about all of this stuff in the video that I put on my Patreon about this if you want to hear more. These damn pigs running away from me. Next question is, do you see yourself going further with your herbalism education? Yes. Is that kind of nice to be scratched with the shovel? I plan to take a botanical skincare course next from the same place that I did my first course, which is the Herbal Academy. I get tons of questions about that. Now you guys want to hang out with me. This is very cute. Hi! But yeah, I plan to take more courses, but also offer education in person, because that's what I really want to do with it. I decided that a couple months ago. I'm like, that would be really fun to have kids and be able to have them teach other people too about, I don't know, skullcap and little medicinal mushrooms like reishi and oyster and lion's mane. Peach is underneath, she's scratching herself again. Anyways, while she's doing that, I'm gonna answer the next question, which is, are there still plans to launch that secret small business that you hinted to in the past? Yes. We have the entire inventory just like in storage right now at this house, and we do still plan to sell it because it's all like ready to go, you know? But also at the same time, I just want to be able to do that in a little office setup that I have for myself, and I don't know, have like all of the inventory organized and not just like shoved in the basement here. So there are still plans to do that, and I am going to do that, but it's just like not right now, you know? But it'll happen when it happens. I'm really trying to work on not talking about things like that before they're like ready to actually launch, because then it just like puts ideas in people's heads, and it's not here yet. It's made, but it's not available for you yet. So it's like, what's the point? Last question. This was a long Q&A. I just really liked being out here in the pasture with these piggies. And I think they really enjoyed their massage, although they didn't really hang out with me that much. I mean, honestly, it was just like me and you hanging out and them kind of just like watching us hang out. Like, I felt like they didn't even really want to be with me, but that's okay. What's your favorite personality trait about Finley? If I had to pick one, I would say he's a lover and a goofy goober, but mostly he's a lover, and that's just my favorite thing. He just loves everything and loves everybody, and he's so sweet to animals and is so obsessed with them, and it's just like, if you find Finley at a party, he will be with the dog. You know what I mean? And I just love seeing him and his face light up with joy when he like sees me or sees the doggies or sees the piggies, and you know, he's just such a lover, and I love that about him. So that's my favorite personality trait about my man. All right, I'm covered in oil and mud and other various things that I need to go take a shower. This golden hour is stunning tonight. It's just beautiful. Look at these trees. Couldn't be happier to be here. Thank you for sharing this moment in the pasture with me this afternoon. I had a great time. I hope you did too. I hope I got to answer all of your dying questions that you really wanted to know about. The pigs are looking glistening and gorgeous, and I love this for them. So thank you for sharing in this moment with me. Although they didn't really care about us that much, that's fine. They're really busy eating all of the delicious green grass. I understand. I'm hungry all the time too. All right, I really need to go take a shower now, but I love you. Thanks so much for watching this. If you enjoyed this, you can find more from me on Patreon, where I upload extra content, or on my live streams, where I stream 3 times a week, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'm on there chatting with y'all, playing games, being silly, all the things. So I hope to see you there as well. Or I just hope to see you in the next video, okay? Stay smiling. Bye, y'all.